This is the day. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has Sing that again. Oh, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord
Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the weekly roundup. This is the Grace Christian School show, where we give you all the information about what's going on here at Grace Christian School. I'm going to give people a little bit of grace here to get on to the show because we're starting exactly 1 hour late from what we normally do of our normal start time. But hey, I want to wish you all a happy 2023. What an amazing year this is getting off to. It's a great start. We can't thank you enough for being part of the Grace Christian School family and joining us today here on the Weekly Roundup. We have a lot to go over. You know, I want to remind you that the Weekly Roundup comes to you every Wednesday, and we provide you with all kinds of information. The best way you can get that information is by subscribing to our channel. There's a little button there that you hit subscribe. And there's also a bell. If you want the messages that, hey, we're going live, ring that bell. Everything that's important that's going on at the school, we talk about here on this page, and you can always be informed. The great thing about the Weekly Roundup is you don't have to watch it. I have a face made for radio, so you can actually put your phone down on your seat while you're driving and listen to this as a podcast if you choose. So, also, want to touch base with you about a couple other things. It's raining out, as you're all familiar, and it's going to be really raining tomorrow. So we want to make sure you know safety is our number one priority. Get to school safe. We will not be issuing tardies. We don't mind if you're late because you are taking a proactive, safe route to school. Don't drive through deep puddles. Don't do anything like that. Just be extremely safe getting to school. We want you to arrive safely. That's our number one priority. 2023 is packed with a lot of great things like Grandparents Loved One Day for the first time we're going to be having, some other fun events that we're going to be talking about as the show goes on. Something that just took place and started yesterday was re-enrollment. We started talking a lot about this at the last Weekly Roundup as we ended the year, and re-enrollment is taking place right now. What you would do for re-enrollment is there's two options. There's actually going to be three. The first option is if you log into your RenWeb account or fax, whatever you prefer calling it at this point, you are able to click on the re-enrollment sheet because you are currently here. At that point, you will be able to start to re-enroll your child. Also, you will be getting an email sent to you as soon as this show ends by Christy, and there is a link there that you're able to follow. It's a document. You just click the link and just go right along. And a lot of it is you're just confirming data that we currently have on file. You're no longer having to go through longhand and rewrite everything out. Please take a few moments to make sure the form is complete, especially when you get to the emergency contact information. Double check those phone numbers, double check those names, because that's extremely important. If there was ever something to happen to your child or loved one, we want to be able to get in touch with you. And in some situations, time could be of the essence. And so if we had a wrong number or something listed there, it could create issues. But what you do is you just complete, as you complete each page at the bottom, you hit next, 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 next. And then the final page is the payment page and submit. You are not re-enrolled until you hit that final payment submit page. That means you are 100% re-enrolled. Now there is an option, life gets in the way, you're re-enrolling and suddenly get a call that you have to go pick somebody up. Good morning, Debbie. Happy to see you. Thank you. Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in. We are glad that you are on the show. Happy New Year to you and your family. We know life gets in the way. You can hit save and come back to it later and finish out the form. But I just want to remind everyone, If the form is in process or in progress, you are not re-enrolled yet. You have to go completely through the form in order to be re-enrolled and submit your payment. The third way is if you're going onto the GCSRR.org website, at the top of the page there's a quick link at the very top that says Enroll Now. You can click Re-enrollment or New Family. You would click Re-enrollment if you are currently a family at Grace Christian School. Another great thing about re-enrollment is if you have a sibling that is getting ready to come into the school in kindergarten or preschool, at that point, when you finish re-enrolling your current student, you can click at the end of the application, Add New Student, and you are able to enroll your other child at that point, and they get priority registration. We've told you before, re-enrollment is extremely important. It secures your seat for the upcoming school year. On January 30th is the last day of re-enrollment, and on January 31st, we open the doors to the public, and all of those people who have been taking tours right now and coming through and meeting with Mrs. Mullaney then have the opportunity to, their applications are immediately submitted. The way it goes now is they're able to go right online, submit the application, and then on February 1st, those applications will populate into the system, so they're able to get those seats, because seats are very important to secure your seat for next year. But anyway, that's how you can re-enroll. It's great to see. I think the very first day, I think within a few minutes, we had 15 to 20 people that had already started filling out the paperwork. And if you encounter a problem, please let us know so that we're able to fix the re-enrollment problem. This is our first year doing paperless, and it's going to become seamless. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of people. I haven't heard the clicking going on. Rachel, good morning. Give me a second here. I'm going to do this the old school way. There's Rachel and Sheila. Good morning. Happy New Year to both of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm glad that you guys are on the show, and welcome. Happy New Year. I hope this is a great year for your family. I'm all for paperless. This is exciting. Sheila, you are absolutely correct. Forgive me for rubbing my eye on the screen. Debbie, we should have received an email about it already. No, you will receive an email as soon as this show is over. Christy will be sending that out. And every year that you've re-enrolled, it's going to become easier and easier with those forms, because all you have to do is go in and adjust anything. And right now, throughout the year, if an emergency contact changes, you can go into your fax page and change that at any time, and that will keep your forms up to date. It's paperless. It's good for the environment. It's good for a lot of different things. But Happy New Year. Re-enrollment's going on. This is an exciting time of year. It looks like we have about 29 people watching us this new year. I'd like to welcome all you to the weekly roundup. Next thing, let's take a step back in time to the Christmas program. Aaron Blythe, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. We're glad to see you on the show this morning. We're going to step back to the Christmas program. It was an amazing Christmas program. We had record attendance at the Christmas program. As many of you who were in line waiting to get in, it was a bigger line than a new attraction at an amusement park. So it was great to see. We have the not the enrollment, I'm stuck on that. We have the attendance that night. And I know what the attendance is. It's written right here. Mrs. O'Rue has the attendance written down. And I'm going to let you guess the attendance. Whoever guessed closest to the attendance will win a $50 gift card of their choice from what we have in inventory with Script. So you can log your guess right here and put it. And Mrs. O'Rue, at the end of the show, she'll be tracking these as it goes. She will tell you who was the closest, and at that point, we'll go. So just think, if you were at the Christmas program, look around and see all of those people that were there and make your guess. And the person who is closest to the entire attendance will be the winner. So that's fun. You know what? It was an amazing Christmas program. And the reason it was so amazing is because we had Holly McDonald, who was our coordinator there, our facilitator at the church at Cottonwood. She made sure everything happened for us. Holly did a tremendous job of making sure our sound people were there, making sure security was there, making sure the air conditioning was right. She was the one who was quarterbacking everything when the electricity was out during the day. we owe a huge, huge thank you to Holly McDonald. The attendance is everyone who was in attendance at the thing. Total attendance is what they counted. So Holly McDonald deserves our greatest thanks and admiration from Grace Christian School for everything that she did for us. Hey, we still have some DVDs available. They look like this. If you are interested, DVDs are still in the office. We had a few extra made, so if you're interested in purchasing one of those, you can. Kimberly, it was a lovely program, and we can't thank you enough for all of the wonderful comments about it. It was great. It was just what we needed. It was a perfect way to kind of wrap up the school year. So remember, the full attendance of everybody there. We counted every person that came in to the building, and we think we have a pretty close number because we also have snapshots of the audience that we kind of just confirmed it with. So whoever is the closest to that number will win a $50 gift card. Mrs. O'Rue is tracking those right now as those guests. She's writing down, and she'll come on with the winner at the very end of the show. Next thing, Race for Grace is coming. It's going to be on March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. But before we get to Race for Grace, it's the T-shirt design contest, and that ends on March 10th. The contest is huge. Everyone gets the opportunity to draw what they would like on the shirt of the Race for Grace T-shirt. And all of the entries are put into the multi-purpose room, and every student in the school is taken through, and they have the opportunity to vote for the artist piece that they would like to see on their shirt. And the number one vote getter gets to go on the shirt, and we award them, and we also recognize second and third place. And I have seen some outstanding designs already coming through the office from a multitude of grade levels. And so you're doing a great job. Remember, you have until January 10th to turn those designs in. Make sure you put your name on the back of it so that we know who it belongs to when we do the actual voting. Also put on your calendar March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, a big green day, will be Race for Grace. And we're still accepting corporate sponsors. If you know someone who would like to be a corporate sponsor, have them email Mrs. Mullaney at smullaney@gcsrr.org. That's a picture from last year's Race for Grace. It's a huge event. We have tons of parents out here and everything. It's just a lot of fun for all of our kids. All of our students in TK through 8th grade participate in Race for Grace. All of our students from TK through 8th grade participate in Race for Grace. So if you know of a company or your own company or the company you work for would like to be a corporate sponsor, reach out to Mrs. Mullaney. There's her email. You can even call her, 714-761-5200, and ask to speak to the bubbly Mrs. Mullaney, and she would be more than happy to provide any answers or questions. Also, with being a corporate sponsor, your name goes on the back of the shirt, it goes on our website, and everything like that. Next, your health is important to us, and everybody looks at health their own way, and they take care of things in their family. I have COVID test here. I'm not endorsing that you need to take COVID tests, but I was able to ascertain a bunch of COVID tests. So I know I've had families say, where can we get them? They cost money, they do this. If you are in need of COVID tests, please stop in the office. We'll be happy to give you a box or two for each one of the kids that you have enrolled in the school, or tell us how many you need, and they're on a first come, first served basis. Just stop in the office. We're here to help you. We're not saying that you have to take these COVID tests, but some families like to have them around for peace of mind. And we're doing that because that's your choice. And we use our resources to be able to help you as parents. So a reminder also that we are looking for the count of what the attendance was for the Grace Christian School Christmas program. Everybody that was in the building, how many people were in attendance at the Grace Christian School Christmas program that we just had at Cottonwood? You put your number down there, and Mrs. O'Neill. Mrs. O'Neill will be telling you who the winner is. No, Mrs. Neal put her guest right there. Mrs. O'Rue is recording those guests, and at the end of the show, She will tell you who the closest person was, and that person will win a $50 gift card to their choice of the script cards that we have on hand. So that's there. So let's see here. Next up is Dads and Donuts. Dads and Donuts is coming on January 20th. This is something new that we're doing this year. It starts at 8:30 or 8:15 when you get here. We're going to have donuts in the quad and on the playground and coffee for you to eat and enjoy. Then when the bell rings at 8:30, dads will go to class with their children, and they will get to spend about 30 minutes with us and watch how the day starts with pledges and prayers and the routine of how the morning starts out. And they might even get to do a fun lesson in class, depending on the grade level. So Dads and Donuts is on January 20th. Grandpas, if you want to accompany your grandchild and because dad's working and can't make it, that's fine. We just love to have you here. Dads and Donuts, we have Moms and Muffins. It's coming down the chute. We also have Loved One Day that is coming. This is going to be a great day. Can they go to multiple classes? Boy, you guys are hitting me really quick here. Yeah, I guess they can go to multiple classes, but it's going to be a tough way to do. But they can jump between. They could leave one and then go to the next. Is there a way dads can jump between classes? Yes. I guess you spend 15 minutes, and as long as you know where the next class is, you could politely get up and exit the back and go into the next class. So that would be absolutely fine. This is about just you getting a chance to spend some time with your kids in the classroom and seeing what they work with in the morning. So yes, we're very, very flexible. The whole thing will wrap up though about 9 o'clock, 10 after 9, then we get back onto our regular routine. But like I was saying, a lot of great things coming up. Moms and Muffins will be coming down the road. Loved One Day, where that's grandparents and loved ones who are going to get to come on campus in the morning. And that's a little bit more of a day. It starts and then it'll be a couple hours long, getting you the opportunity to do a project with your child in class. And more information from our amazing PST, and Brenda is working on that. She is diligent in all these great things that we're bringing forward to all of you. We have a great PST, and they're coming up with a lot of great ideas for this year and for next year that we're starting in the planning stage this year. Roadrunner Ride is something that we do in preschool, and that's a tricycle marathon. And they don't participate in Race for Grace. The Roadrunner Ride, they come out, we set up a course, and they get to ride their bicycles for a given amount of time. And it is so fun because they always have a theme. It's usually been Western, and they get to decorate their bikes. We give a prize away for that. And it's so much fun to see our little preschoolers doing that. The kickoff is on January 13th. You have a preschooler here. You will be receiving a flyer through your preschooler. You'll also get one in an email, and you'll see it on our website along with the news flash. The ride, mark your calendars right now, is February 10th. That's for the Roadrunner Ride, and that is for our preschool classes. It's a little bit different than Race for Grace. It's notched down a little bit so they can have fun and they're not overwhelmed by hundreds of kids out there on the playground. And it is a lot of fun. I know they will thoroughly enjoy it. Next up is Career Day. It's our next Spirit Day, and that's on January 11th. Kids get to dress up on whatever they think they might like to be: an astronaut, a police officer, a doctor, a firefighter, a veterinarian, a business person, maybe a singer, a pastor, a missionary. There are so many different things that our kids could come dressed as for Spirit Day, and we are so excited to see what some of their thoughts will be on that. And that is January 11th, so mark your calendars right now. That'll give you the weekend to plan for it and move forward. April 4th, wait a minute. I got my script out of line here. The variety show. You know, COVID did a lot of things. But one of the things we did was we put our talent show on a YouTube premiere. And I got to tell you, that was probably the best thing that ever happened, because it has allowed more families and more students to be able to show their talents during we call it a variety show now, because there's so many things that you could see. It's on February 24th at 7 p.m. Acts need to be 60 seconds or less. And what it is you record a video, 60 seconds or less. If you have multiple students from Grace Christian School or your family is thoroughly in the video, what we do is we take the total number of videos and we try to give more time to those videos that have more students in it or more family members so that we're able to do it. Justin, good guess. Thank you. Keep those guests coming in. It's for the attendance for the Christmas program. I'm going to keep reiterating that because there's probably people tuning in right now that are just getting to that point in the program where they're hearing about the attendance contest. But you'll record your video of a talent. It can be anything: singing, playing the piano, if you're a rodeo rider, if you are a fisher person, a fisherman, a fisherwoman, and you're out there. Top of the morning to you, Justin. Thank you for tuning in. Any of these things, we want to see it. It's a 60-second or less clip. Send them to the address shown on the flyer that you'll be getting, and we put together a variety show. And it premieres on YouTube. It is so much fun. We have a chat there that people start commenting and they congratulate each other and compliment them on their great talents. We've seen snowboarding, surfing, some great band playing. The only thing that we ask is make sure that it is appropriate. We'd hate for you to submit something and we look at it and deem it not family friendly or Christian appropriate and it not get played. So just think about it before you, and if you have a question, don't hesitate to call the office. We'll be more than happy to give you some guidance on that. And we would really like to have another great show. We try to keep the shows right about an hour long. If we get more participants and we're able to stretch it out a little bit, we'll do that also. But those of you who have tuned into the variety show in the past know how much fun it is and how much talent we have here at Grace Christian School. It's pretty amazing. Hey, the next thing I want to talk to you about is Bite of Reality. This is a really unique program that credit unions throughout the nation put together for high schools. And it is a finance thing, and it's really what the title says, Bite of Reality. A lot of our teachers and myself are members of Schools First Federal Credit Union, and there are branches all over. I've been a member since it was OCTFU, Orange County Teachers Federal Credit Union. And in talking with them, they have this program called Bite of Reality that they participate in. And I asked if there was any way our 8th graders could have this program brought to our school because we do a finance class here. And by the grace of God, they contacted us back and said they did have a last-minute opening. And what it is, it's so unique. All of our 8th graders come, and as they come into the room, they're given an envelope. And inside the envelope, they are told what their job is, what their income is, how much money they have in the checking account, if they have any debt, do they have any credit cards, and there are a bunch of different stations that they have to go to each station, and based on their script, they have to make decisions. And it's a bite of reality. They learn how to rent a house, how to buy a car, how to buy a house, a job. They learn about taxes, and this is in a real life setting. So it's really fun. It brings everything that we learn throughout the year in the 8th grade finance class to a finalized point where they can put it into practice and see what the outcome potentially could be. And these are a lot of subject matter experts through the credit union that are here. And we are just so blessed that Schools First is willing to do this for us, for our 8th graders, because this is normally a high school program. But because of the fact we do such an intense finance class for our 8th graders, they decided to let us go through with it. And that's going to be on April 4th. Oh my guys, Bite of Reality sounds amazing, doesn't it? I can't tell you, I wish there was something like this when I was in high school. I know it would have made a huge difference, even having a finance class when I was in high school, to be able to learn all the amazing things that are available to young adults, staying out of debt and everything like that. So that's coming very soon. Next thing I want to talk to you about is if you have any problems, this is recapping from the very beginning, if you have any problems in the re-enrollment, to let us know in the office and we will work that through with you. It's kind of important. There are pages that you click at the bottom and you move forward. But we are off to an amazing new year. We are so very excited of everything that's going to be happening and what this 2023 holds for us. We have an outstanding program. I think I gave you a peek under the tent. We have a baptism class that's going to be starting for our lower grades and our upper grades. That is being finalized this week, and we will have all that information to you next week as to when a baptism information class is going to be held for our students, because we know some churches don't always get to baptizing kids right away, or families are away when it happens. So we're going to have the opportunity to do it here. It's going to be very special. We did this probably about 5 years ago, and we had over 100 students get baptized, and we had pastors from the surrounding churches here doing it with us, and it was a huge event. So look for more information on that coming home next week as we finalize when those classes are. They're very short information classes, and then when the date of the baptism is going to actually take place here on campus. And you invite your friends, family. It's a big, huge birthday celebration that we have here on campus, and you will thoroughly enjoy it. The weekly roundup, normally at the beginning and at the end, we put pictures of our students who are doing things in nature, whether it's riding a horse, fishing, seeing one of our nature parks, or going to the forest, or seeing a deer or a bear or something fun. We try to post those pictures because it's amazing what God has provided us with this great universe and this great country. Kid baptism, wow, praise God, amen. Yes, it is a great thing. We partner closely with our churches too and get them thoroughly involved in every kid that we can get baptized is such a thing. Baptisms at school, what a blessing. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much. Yes, it's gonna be so exciting. It just touched my heart 5 years ago when we did it, and all of our teachers and all of the pastors and family members we had here. It was like a huge celebration. So it's time to do it again. But if you have pictures, send them in. I will start using those again. I do have a couple in the queue that if you think you've sent them in and hey, Sheriff P didn't put those up, they will come. Thank you very much for this wonderful cup, Sheriff P coffee cup. Very great. I also got a Sheriff P cup that you'll see that I'll be using. It's a blue one, that's not it, to highlight on the show. So thank you for those. And we are in for a huge, great 2023. A lot of amazing things are going to be happening. We have some big trips coming. Our 8th graders are going to be going to Washington, D.C. here very soon. And we're going to start back with On the Blacktop next week and hearing about what our kids think about different things. But anyway, parents, I just ask that God continue to bless each and every one of your families, that you just make the most out of 2023, and that you use every opportunity that God provides you just to love on your family, love on your neighbors, and help expand this great kingdom of Jesus Christ with everyone. I always tell you, may God bless the trails you ride, and may God bless the roads that you drive. I just ask that God blesses your entire family this year, just really embraces you. And I just ask also that you continue to pray for our school here in the ministry, that we continue to partner with each and every one of you to develop kids that are just on fire for Christ and will make a difference in this world. Parents, thank you again so much for tuning in to the Weekly Roundup. This was a long show, I understand it. I thank the 36 people that are on right now. One last shout out. This is one last call. If you have a number, there's 36 of you on. If you have a number that you think was the total attendance at the Christmas program, please put that in the comment section right now. Put it in. Christy O'Rue, my assistant here, she is looking at those right now, and she will put in the comments here in a moment who the winner is. The person who is the closest will win a gift certificate that says they can pick a $50 gift card here at Grace Christian School. I'm just dragging this out a little bit to see if there's any final guests that want to come on. The people that would be hearing me say this right now are probably all of you who tuned in at the very beginning. So what you're going to hear is I'm going to give the exit music right now, and then I'm going to pop back in. Can previous students attend baptism classes? Yes, that's a great question. Can previous students attend baptism class? Yes. The class isn't a long class because basically what the classes are, we're expecting the class can be about 30 to 45 minutes long. It might even be an hour, and we're really touching base that kids understand what baptism is and that they understand that. So yes, if you have a child who was a prior student who wants to attend this, there's always room in the kingdom for one more. Just reach out in the office, talk to Mrs. Wolfner, give them your name, your phone number, who the child is, and the appropriate teacher will be notified, whether that be not preschool, excuse me, whether it be lower side or upper side, and we'll go from that. So we have a couple more guests coming in. Sheila's guest is 1,500, and Lodi is 5,000. Forgive me for looking in. I'm on eye drops. My final surgery is tomorrow to finish out all of my eye stuff. So we have a 1,200. What we're going to do is I'm going to go right now to the exit music, and I will come back on in just a second so that Mrs. O'Rue has the opportunity to look, and then I'm going to ask her to pick the winning number. So here's our exit music. Don't go away. We will be right back. I'm walking out to check, so.
Well, let's all say, this is the day. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has. Sing that again. Oh, this is the day. This is the day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Boy, I went in the other room, and the stress level went from like 10 to 100. Mrs. O'Rue's there calculating, double checking to make sure she has the right person picked, and a lot of great numbers. I was dumbfounded by the number. Cottonwood was extremely impressed by the number. We had, here's the number, no more entries after this. The attendance was 2,023 people. 2,023 people is what we calculated was the attendance by counting the people in the seats, the students, and everything. 2,023. It was an outstanding attendance. I can't thank all of you enough. There you go. Mrs. O'Rue just posted the winner. Congratulations, Sheila. You are the winner. You received a $50 gift card. Come in the office. You can pick from the script order form what you would like. This is fun getting to play games with this with all of our people. But over 2,000 families got to hear us worship to Christ for Christmas. Doesn't that just warm your heart? It's a great thing. Remember, if you need a DVD, there are still a few extra DVDs available in the office. Thank you again to Holly McDonald and the team over at Cottonwood for making that program so awesome. And parents, I can't thank you enough for partnering with us as we work together to develop the true leaders that will lead this great country one day. Parents, God bless each and every one of you. Happy 2023.